What's going on, YouTube gang? It's Mellow DFS coming to you live and direct, here to give you my favorite plays for today's 9-game main slate, y'all. Today is the 26th of February. Hope everybody's having an amazing Wednesday. Feel free to like the video. Please subscribe if you're new or support the channel. I appreciate the love. Press that bell icon so you always stay notified for new videos. Let's jump right into y'all. Going with the point guard slot. We do have a lot of studs in this slate for today, but we want to go for a nice little play for point guard. Spencer Dinwiddie's in a great play against Washington. Of course, the pace is up there, 102 to Washington's 103.1, so it's a great spot here at Washington. A 7,100 play on FanDuel, but he is 8K on DraftKings. But one of the good spots here. He had 38 last time he played against Washington. It's one of those games I can see him hit that 35 to 40 fantasy point game. Another guy I could go to if you want to go for a nice saving spot will be Ricky Rubio. All right, he's 6,400 on FanDuel, but he's 69. So if you want to pivot from Spencer Dinwiddie and go to him on DraftKings, it's not a bad spot here. Before his injury, y'all, he had, he was in the increase, yo. He had a 30, 38, 46, and then a 66 last game. So he was on a great incline, and he's in a great favorable spot against the Clippers, knowing that Oubre is out to give him a bump in usage and helps out with his fantasy points per minute on the court as well. So it's a 231.5 for Ricky Rubio in this spot for today. So definitely something you could look into for some savings. Another guy you could look into is Ja Morant, man. He's in a good spot here going against Houston, but it's at Houston. All right, 6,100 on FanDuel, but he has 71 on DraftKings with 237.5 implied total. Another good spot for him. He should be able to get out this slump. All right, last two games, which was at home, he had a 48 and a 38. So something you want to consider here, knowing that Jaren Jackson, and then now we got Clark out. So it's a lot of usage going around with the squad here. So something you want to consider with Ja Morant with a bounce back game and in a favorable pace, as well as their 102.8 to Houston's 103.3. So another good spot here for Ja Morant and a good spot for today. All right, let's go to our shooting guards for today. Now, going to shooting guards, of course, you got Bradley Beal back at it against Brooklyn. Now, I know he's real frustrated, having 50-plus games, real life points, man. He's just been tearing it up, and he's getting frustrated, y'all. But he's at home going against Brooklyn. He did have a 60 last game, 44, 46 in the last three against Brooklyn. Something you want to consider here, 9,400, 97 on DraftKings. So it's one of those plays. It's a fast-paced game, like I stated before, but still a good spot for him, knowing he's been crushing it. But we'll see how he acts, because, just showing how frustrated he was, constantly performing, and everyone around him is just a dud. So something you want to consider. Now you got James Harden. It's another good spot for James Harden in this play. Going against Memphis, like I said, it's a fast-paced game, and he's at home. He has a lot to show for, especially going against Ja Morant. He's going to show him out. He has great upside against Memphis. 59, 68, 86, 75, 72 in the last 5 games. Like I said before, he's crushing it. He had a 60-plus 3 times out of the last 5 games. He had a 58 last game, but that was without Russ. But Russ in the mix, I still see him still putting in work, because he still had some 60s with Russ in the mix. But good spot for him in this play. Another guy you can look into is DeMar DeRozan. All right, he's 6,900 on FanDuel, 77K on DraftKings, too cheap. All right, going against Dallas, and he doesn't have LaMarcus Aldridge. He is not playing, so it gets a bump of usage for DeMar, and he shows great upside against Dallas. He had 250. He had 55 fantasy points in the last 2 out of the 4. All right, so he had a 54, 56 in the last 4. So that's something you want to consider here against Dallas. He shows upside and gets a bump of usage without LaMarcus in the mix. Something you want to see here. Of course, you got Dylan Brooks. He's one of those guys that he's too cheap, man, and hopefully get out this slump. Like I said before, without having Clark, is another guy and another piece that could definitely go off in this spot. 4,100. There's a 24.1 projection, but it's a 5.9 value. He's one of those guys that could go off. He had a 42-35 in the last 2 games against Houston. So hopefully this is one of those bounce back games for Dylan Brooks. He's been a dud recently, man. He's just been cold, as you can see, just cold. But he has much upside against Houston. So hopefully he can bounce back in this play. Let's see anybody else I can look into. You got Karis LeVert, another spot against Washington. He's 65 on FanDuel, 75 on DraftKings. Is one of those uptrends for me in this play. He had a 44, 40, 42-36, and I can see another 40 bounce back game. I mean, especially with them waiting this and somebody else that could put in work. And like I said, LeVert's one of those guys, man. Without having Kyrie Irving in the mix, he's one of those guys that can ball out, and he's going to definitely be the second guy scoring. So it's one of those guys definitely in a great play against Washington at 22nd against the position, 28th overall in defense. Great spot for Caris LeVert. Do not overlook that play. All right, let's go to our small forwards. Tobias Harris, another great play against Cleveland, 6,600. That's a nice safe spot for him, especially without Simmons. He's that beneficiary guy that gives you that 30-plus floor. All right, something you want to consider. He is 75 on DraftKings. Still a nice cash play on DraftKings. All right, going against Cleveland, 22nd against the position, 29th overall defense. Great play. All right, so definitely check him out, knowing that there's no Ben Simmons. He's a guy I definitely look into in your lines. Looking for a nice little cheap spot. Josh Jackson's my guy for today. Going against Houston, 3,500 is too cheap on FanDuel. Definitely lock him in. He's 45 on DraftKings, but still nice, good spot as he has great history going against Houston. He had 35, 22, 34 in the last three. In the last 3 games, 27, 23, 27. He's easily giving you 8 times value and more in this spot for today. So he's getting a great bumping usage without having Clark in the mix. So something you want to consider here for Josh Jackson. All right, let's go to our next spot, going at power forwards. All right, going power forwards, Kristaps Porzingis, good spot for him. He's 8,700, but he's cheap, 8,300. He will definitely be overlooked going against San Antonio. Now, LaMarcus Aldridge out. I don't see nobody stopping him in the front court. So, great spot. He should dominate. I mean, you got Lyles, you got Patel. Porzingis should dominate. Great correlation with Luka Doncic. Good spot for him in this play. Even though he's expensive, he could go off in this spot here. So he's 8,300 on DraftKings. 87 still manageable. He could give you that 45 plus in this play for today. All right, another guy I could look into is Aaron Gordon. Great spot for him. He's definitely been turning his gears lately after that All-Star game, man. All-Star weekend, he's been balling ever since. You know, 7,500 on FanDuel, 78 on DraftKings. I mean, more so a cash play, but still a good spot for him. You know, he's been on the incline, 44, 54, 42, 52. So hopefully it's not a downtrend in this play, knowing that it's been up, down. So, I mean, he had 44 last time against ATL. They're definitely going to need him. It's going to be a slow pacing game, but Orlando gets the best of it. So it's 97.4 to Atlanta's 103.7. So it's a great bump in pace for Orlando. Great spot for Fournier and Gordon and even Vucevic, who I'll get to later. Great spots for them. Another guy you can look into to pivot is Jarrett Allen. Sorry about that. It's 5,400 on FanDuel, 53 on DraftKings. Good spot here. Got great upside against Washington. 45, 31, 30 in the last 3. Great play for him, man. Too cheap of a spot. Another guy's too cheap of a spot is Al Horford, man. 4,800 is a disrespectful price tag. Even though he's been dudding lately, I mean, it's still upside for him. He might be low owned. And no, he's 5K on DraftKings, but 4,800 on FanDuel is a nice spot. He has great history against Cleveland. Check him out, 31, 39, 37, 35 in the last 4. All right, good spot against Cleveland. A lot of people might overlook him, but he's expected starter at a power forward. So great spot, knowing that without Simmons, he still is one of those guys to definitely look into in this play. All right, so Al Horford, my guy. Looking to a next spot here at center. Got to go at Nikola Vucevic here. All right, 9,300 on FanDuel. He is 95 on DraftKings. Still a great spot, knowing the upside against ATL. All right, he had 51, 42, 34, 45, 63 in the last 5, and he's been crushing it. He had a dud of 39. The game got out of hand, but still a good spot. He had 50s in the last 4 out of 5 games, y'all. So he can give you that 50 plus again against ATL here. It's at 28th against opposing centers. You got Joel Embiid, of course, going against Cleveland, but I just think this is more of a digression. Going to be a down play game, man. I mean, he had 59, 56, but those are more of playing at home. But playing at Cleveland, he hasn't been doing well. It's more of a regression play. So for me, it's a cautious play, especially at this price tag. I can see him hitting that 40-ish but he hasn't shown upside against at Cleveland. So that's my take on that. You got Jonas Valanciunas that should be able to pay up this price tag at 6,800, 69 on FanDuel. It's too cheap. No one in the front court again at Houston. So I think it's a great play, knowing that they're gonna need him definitely more without Clark in the mix. So Jonas should definitely hopefully bounce back. You know, he had a 15, 24, 22 in the last 3. Hopefully get back to where he should be in the 40s. He had a 31, 29, 48 in the last 3 against Houston. So hopefully he bounce back in his play. Another guy you can look into would be a nice little value play is Mitchell Robinson at 53 on FanDuel, but 51 on DraftKings against Charlotte. We all know how he is against Charlotte. I had Miles Turner yesterday that went and crushed value. Like I said, I knew he would, and he did well. So hopefully Mitchell Robinson, even though he doesn't have the minutes to back it up, he's one of those fantasy point monsters that he can get like 20 plus 25 minutes and get you that 30, 40 fantasy point game. So something you can look into with him. He's 1.17 fantasy points per minute on the court. Something you want to consider here. I know Frank is out. We got Peyton. He's probable so far. So we got looking more so with the injuries. I definitely, like I said before, I always will post it on my posts, on my comment section. I will definitely let you know any injury and any value that becomes of that injury. So definitely check back in. And those are the plays for today, y'all. Like the plays, give a thumbs up. If you want any access to my player pool, click the link in the description to sign up. Once you sign up, get access to NBA cheat sheet to give you best plays of the slate, your sleepers and your studs. Click on your watch players, you get access to your player pool, and you'll see watch Mills DFS picks button up top for either DraftKings or FanDuel. All right, so I love y'all, man. Y'all collect that bag for today. It's Mills DFS, and y'all stay blessed. See y'all in the next video.